Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about small leaf Hoyas in my collection. This Hoya is my Hoya croniana black. The new growth on this one comes in as a very dark purple, almost black color. This one is a pretty fast grower for me. I know it's just the one stem, but it always has new growth growing out of it. This is my Hoya lacunosa variegata. It currently is reverted, so it just has 2 leaves that are variegated and the rest is green. It's currently blooming, so here's a clip of those beautiful flowers. Once the blooms die off on this one, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it just to see if it'll stimulate new variegated growth. Up next is my Hoya kamingiana. This one is an unrooted cutting, so I have it currently rooting in perlite. Up next is my Hoya vacciniodes, or the wee Bella. This one reminds me of a fuzzier version of Hoya Bella. I'm not sure if the camera will focus well on it, but she currently has 2 peduncles growing. I'm hoping I can get this one to bloom because the flowers are very similar to Hoya Bella. This one I find to be on the thirstier side, and she also doesn't like bright light. Up next is my Hoya VL9. This Hoya reminds me of a splashier version of GPS 7240. It's also a pretty slow grower, so I'm hoping it puts out new growth soon. This Hoya is one of my favorites. It's Hoya serpents. This one I purchased in November of 2022. And it was a 1 stem, about 4 or 5 leaves on that stem when I purchased it, and it has put out a bunch of new growth since then. It definitely loves the humidity in my cabinet, and it loves being watered. This next one is Hoya chinghunghjensis, and this one is one of my top favorites. Let me insert a clip of what it looked like when I first bought it. This one I find to be a very fast grower once it has established roots, which really doesn't take that long to root if you give it the right conditions. I've cut this Hoya 3 different times now, and it just continues to grow. I feel like I'm saying this about all the Hoyas, but this one is definitely one of my top favorites. This one is Hoya GPS 7240, and very much like the VL9, it has a very similar leaf shape. I think this one is a little bit on the rounder side compared to VL9 and less splashy. This one sun stresses to a deep purple if you grow it under grow lights or give it high light, thus the nickname grapes. Up next is my Hoya huskeliana yellow flower. I think everybody should have a huskeliana in their collection. This one is a very fast grower and likes to be on the drier side. This one has a bunch of peduncles, but it hasn't flowered for me yet, so I'm not sure if it's because it prefers more humidity to bloom. I am hoping to get it to bloom soon just to see if the flowers smell like popcorn or butterscotch. Let me know down below what this one smells like to you. Up next is the variegated version of huskeliana. And this one, again, one of my top favorites. This one reminds me of a watercolor painting. This one is constantly putting out new growth for me, which always comes in with a pink hue and then turns into a creamy yellow. Next one is my Hoya curtisii, which I have living in leca with a small reservoir. This one ended up rotting when I had it in soil, and I didn't realize it until the leaves started shriveling up. So I quickly moved it out of soil and into leca, and she's since then been putting out new growth and just doing really, really good. And she's also covered in sulfur. And the last one is Hoya matild. This one I'm struggling with a little bit because it arrived to me with rotted roots, so I have it sitting in a chunky mix under a grow light, hoping that it roots up very nice. Let me know down in the comments below, how do you like to root your Hoyas? Well, that is it, my friends. Thank you so much for watching.